Hi, I'm Officer Alan East with the Gilbert Police Department. Today we are taking the opportunity to interview two of our wonderful officers, a sergeant and an officer. One is with the Wellness Peer Support Coordinator, Ed Morales, Officer Ed Morales. And then we have also with the Officer Mentoring Program, we have Sergeant Sharon Castronova. Welcome, guys.
Hi.
So I'm going to just ask you guys some questions about your program so that folks out there know exactly what you do and what you do for the department in relation to that program. So we'll start with Sergeant Castronova. I understand you are part of the mentoring program. And can you tell me a little bit about that and how it starts with new employees here at the police department?
Yeah, I am currently assigned to the patrol division. I am a sergeant here at the Central Police Department. One of the side things I do is coordinate the mentoring program. And our mentoring program is something that was established in about 2007. That's when I received my first mentor, and it's fun to now be in charge of it. That was my first leadership role here at the police department. And new recruits get a mentor. This is someone that they can call, ask questions to, someone that can support them while they go through the police academy and while they go through field training. The mentoring program was established just to enhance the experience, to help more senior officer, help the newer officers, someone that they can lean on during the times that are stressful.
Okay. I understand there's informal mentoring that is also encouraged. What is this?
Yeah, this is informal and formal. It's basically just an officer that leads by example, like his or her performance or physical performance is something that people look towards as somebody they want to be, a leader, and then you can reach out to this person and they can help you when things are stressful.
Sure. And then I understand there's also, there's not a program currently for non-sworn. Is this just directly toward the sworn?
Yeah, we have civilian positions here with the police department, our records, communications, different civilian spots. But this is currently for sworn. We're trying to work on it maybe for our jails and that type of stuff. Again, there's formal and informal, and this is just a way that people can lean towards somebody to help them out.
And what is the duration in the mentoring program? Let's say for a sworn officer coming in from academy and now they're part of the program. What's the duration of relationship?
When you're in pre-academy, which is the weeks that you're here at the police department before you go to the academy, you'll be assigned your mentor. And that mentor is someone that supports you through the academy and through field training. Upon completion of field training, they're no longer your assigned mentor, but you'll probably stay in contact with them, go to them, ask them any questions you need. So it totals about a year.
Okay.
Yeah, we know that once you get off of field training, you're assigned to your own team. You have your other officers and other friends that you can go to, and then that kind of is a mentor in that aspect.
Okay. And do you have any success stories that you've seen throughout your tenure being a supervisor for it?
Yeah, so like I said, I had my first mentor in about 2007. I personally mentored about 24 officers. I recently reached out to an officer who just got promoted to detectives, and I was her mentor. We kind of discussed her story. She allowed me to talk about it today, and that was a success story for me. This officer now, she was a recruit at the time, was having some difficulty in the academy. I would reach out to her weekly, which is what our mentors try to do, whether it be call or text. You reach out to the recruit weekly. And she'd always told me everything was going fine. As the academy was coming to an end, she realized that she needed some assistance in a couple areas to graduate the police academy. We got together on the weekend, we met, and I think just having the outside perspective, someone to get with her. You know, you're in the academy and you don't really have friends, right? You have classmates and everybody's kind of going through the same struggles. So her and I got together outside. I gave her a different perspective. She's told me since, knowing that I was successful in it, she took the information and the advice that I gave her, and she went back to the academy and graduated. Like I said, she was recently promoted to detectives. So I consider that one of my success stories. We've also obviously worked at the same place. We've remained in contact since, and she's always reached out to me for different things that I could help her out with.
That's
And
wonderful.
some of that was, testing for detectives
Sure.
and that type of stuff.
Wonderful. So you get to see a whole lot of these officers progress in their career and kind of gain the confidence with the mentoring program, obviously.
The thing is, we're not wanting to add more stress onto officers while they're in the police academy, but we're wanting them to have, hey, you train with other agencies, you train with officers from all over the valley, but at least you have somebody from Gilbert that you can go to ask any questions. It is a confidential program, unless it's something, ethical that the senior officer needs to report about, but the conversations between the recruit and the officer are mainly confidential. And then you can just, if you're having a bad day, you can let the senior officer know. But also if you want to celebrate, hey, that you passed a test or you passed shooting at the firearms at the academy, then you have that senior officer to go to. Again, we're not trying to create more stress, just somebody to kind of go to and talk with.
Awesome. Wonderful. It sounds like the mentoring program is pretty essential and functions really well in this department. So.
Yeah, I've spoke to other agencies, and I think we're one of the few in the valley that do have the mentoring program. We just want new officers to be successful here and have a long career, and that we realize that this is a way. You think of a mentor as someone who's like a leader, a teacher, just support in general. So.
Sure. Wonderful. Well, thank you. Thank you for the information. And now we'll move over to Officer Ed Morales. Can you tell us a little bit about how long you've been with the department and a little bit of background?
Sure. I've been with the department a little over 17 years. Prior to that, I spent 7 years in the Marine Corps. So I did one tour enlisted in the intelligence field and then was later commissioned as an officer. And so I've had a lot of pretty varied experience here at the department. I had the good fortune of spending some time on our SWAT team. I worked undercover, and as you know, I worked as a school resource officer for some time.
Absolutely. So, and can you tell me a little bit about the official title for the program is Peer and Wellness Support Coordinator and Peer Support.
So
tell me a little about the program.
My two main functions are managing the peer support team, which is about approximately 24 member team consisting of employee volunteers, and then also managing our new wellness campaign. So we're developing a comprehensive wellness program for our employees.
Okay. What are some of the wellness programs that you guys have developed under your program?
One of the things that we've done is we've designated two mindfulness rooms so people can use them if they need to decompress, sit quietly, meditate, pray, whatever they need to get through their day in a healthy way. We created one here at the Central Station and one down south. We actually also started a therapy dog program. So we have Cora, the therapy dog. Come here, Cora. Come here. Come here. Up, up, up. This is Cora. She's here for the health and well-being of our employees to help mitigate stress and just allow people to kind of interact with something out of the ordinary during their workday.
That is just awesome. What a beautiful dog. And you see her interacting with officers and civilians alike?
Absolutely. Of course, COVID has interrupted a lot of our usual activities, but generally when we are here, we try to visit all different work sections and allow people to interact with her.
And that's just awesome. And when and why did the Gilbert Police Department start the program?
So we started a peer support program actually in 1998, and the efforts were focused around critical incident stress management, diffusings and debriefing. So after a critical incident, they would bring police officers, dispatchers who were involved with the call together, and it's a formal process that was developed in the behavioral health field to address critical incidents. And the program kind of gained some traction and began to evolve, and then a couple of years ago the administration decided to make this a full-time position to address some pretty obvious lack of wellness support in our industry nationwide. And so they created a full-time position, and the timing was right for me. I was finishing up my master's in social work with the focus of working with police officers and military personnel, managing stress, anxiety, symptoms of post-traumatic stress, things like that. So the timing was right for me, and I got the position, and we've been trying to grow the foundation of this program as time goes on.
And so, is there a peer support team? What is their specific role? Are these counselors, or what are these people? What are the makeup of the team?
Right. So the team are all volunteer employees. So we have recruited peer support team members from our sworn ranks. So we have peer support team members who are patrol officers, detectives, even some supervisors. We've also recruited from our support staff and civilian employees, record keepers, dispatchers, and we want to try to provide services for all sectors of our employees.
And which employees can access this?
So all police employees can access peer support resources. Like you said earlier, we're not really counselors or professional behavioral health specialists, but we act in the role of a peer support member, where what we offer is the value of shared experience. So if a police officer, let's say, may not want to seek professional help at this time, they can seek out one of us, and just through the value of shared experience, knowing that we've experienced something similar, that we can understand what they're going through, they may come and need to vent or even ask about how they can access further resources.
And is this a confidential thing? How does that work in terms of?
Absolutely. We're actually protected under the Arizona revised statutes that says that any communication that we have is confidential unless it falls into one of three categories. So if someone tells us that they're a danger to their self or others, then of course as first responders we have to report that. If there's been a violation of the law, whether that person was involved or witnessed it, then we would have to report that as well. Or if there was a serious violation of policy, then we're also required to report that. Other than that, communication is completely confidential.
So in terms of resources, officer comes in, says they need a specific, or you identify a specific event or anything that they need help with. What are some of the resources that they have that they can access that you provide for them?
Well, first, we like to provide what we call self-regulation tools. So we do a set of breathing and imagery exercises to help people manage their stress, to down-regulate their physiology so they can manage this stressful job. And then we also try to point people towards professional help, whether that means seeing a counselor, using our employee assistance program, seeking counseling through our private insurance, or even the House Bill 2502, which is a law that was passed by the state to try to provide more counseling services to police and fire employees.
Awesome, that's wonderful. Well, I want to thank both of you guys for sharing the information that we have, and also to let people know that this is part of our programming here at Gilbert Police Department. So thank you guys.
Thank you.